Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to Business Credit Radio. This is September 11th, 2013, and it's 7 p.m. Central Time. We're on blogtalkradio.com, and we're looking forward to another great show tonight, and we hope you stay with us. We are the voice for credit and finance professionals worldwide, and we hope you stay with us. Speaking about staying with us, we have our sponsor, which we'd like to acknowledge before we get going here.
This evening's show is partially brought to you by the Credit Management Association, a proud affiliate of the National Association of Credit Management that has helped business-to-business companies with their credit, collections, and financial decisions since 1883. Contact CMA at www.creditmanagementassociation.org for more details on how CMA can benefit you.
Thank you. Welcome again to all of our peers and friends from all over the world. And here in the United States, we are Business Credit Radio. I am your host, Philip Philbin, and tonight we have a return friend of ours that's going to be our speaker guest tonight. Callers, let's talk about you calling in and asking questions and being part of the show. You dial 347-989-8342. That's 347-989-8342. What happens is your phone number pops up on my studio. Then you hit the pound sign and the number 1, and I bring you on live. I identify you by your area code number, and then you go ahead and ask your questions. We hope we do have some people come in the show tonight. Tonight we have, on Business Credit Radio, we're welcoming back Mr. Kurt Weiland, who is the president of Jefferson Smith Training and Consulting, an international corporate training company in Bountiful, Utah. Kurt's been training businesses and organizations for quite a long time. Among his clients, we got General Motors, Saudi Aramco, which is actually the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Tandem Computers in the UK, the Tuskegee, Tuskegee Airmen Freedom Flyers, and the Yavapai Apache Nation. He served for 25 years in the United States Army. He was an infantryman and a paratroop commander. He served as an assistant professor at the United States Military Academy at West Point. He has a bachelor's degree from Brigham Young University, a master's degree from the University of Southern California, and another master's degree from UCLA. He's written 5 books on leadership and communication skills. 45 years ago, he was lucky enough to marry his college sweetheart, Kathy Lynn Waite, and they have 6 children and 16 grandchildren. I'm not going to go through all of them this time because we got to move on to our conversation. But he's got quite a list, fans. I'm here to tell you. I only have 9 kids, so we're blessed, but in different numbers, I guess. Today's discussion is again My Way or the Highway, not Part 2. And we're calling it Part 2 because we never did get to finish Part 1 when we had Kurt on before. But we're going to move along and get there now. Welcome, Kurt, and I hope we have another great show tonight.
I am glad to be here. It's a good show, and I appreciate talking with you. Thank you.
Oh, not a problem. As we were discussing before the show got started in our little pre-show jab session, there was a commercial on TV, and I think our listeners will know this if there's anybody out there who does watch TV. It's a commercial about a man and his woman in a car. It's a car commercial, without a doubt, and they're talking about this, that, and the other thing, and then they switch real quick to a corporate boardroom where you've got 4 or 5 guys and girls sitting around the table. In the middle of the table is a 3-foot-tall man with a real fancy suit on, suit and tie, and he's standing there and he says, I want to make it clear. Actually, with a voice like, I want to make it clear. There are 3 ways we're going to do business in this company. It's my way, my way, my way. And then he looks at this guy sitting the other side of the table and he says, do you understand what I'm talking about? Every time I see that commercial, I think about you, Kurt. I think about this discussion we're going to have tonight on leadership and the one we had before. Just a perfect segue, in my opinion.
It's scary that we've got to the point where everyone recognizes that type of leadership. It's good that we've got to the point where we can make fun of that, but that type of leadership is still out there. There are leaders who believe that they can get away with that and run an effective organization, which cannot be farther from the truth.
Do we feed that ourselves? I mean, do we as employees actually feed that type of, what am I looking for? That adverse leadership? I mean, do we feed it because we don't have a choice? I mean, we take this kind of stuff from these leaders because it's a job, and we don't want to lose that job. More than just a job, and I got to throw this in here, especially here lately, benefits. The loss of benefits is huge. It seems like you can always get another job, but get a job with benefits, they're few and far between. Am I right?
I think that's the perception. I think a lot of people feel that that's their choice. One of the things that we've discovered is that that's not the real choice. It's not a dichotomy. There are all sorts of avenues in the middle. Years ago, you and I both remember seeing the movie Cabaret with Liza Minnelli and about things that were happening in Berlin in the 1930s. I remember reading an article about that movie and the events it described. It talked about the German people, that they had just been through a very rocky time economically, socially. They had lost the First World War, and everything was in chaos. And the article that I read said, given the choice between chaos and authoritarianism, the people would choose authoritarianism every time because it was stable. And I thought, wow, what a sad choice to be faced with. People aren't comfortable with chaos. They're not comfortable with change. And even today, the woman who looks at that incredibly authoritarian boss, it's my way, my way, my way, or changing jobs, she thinks to herself and says, well, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe if I just wait it out a little longer, I'll put in my time and then I'll retire. She doesn't have to put up with that.
Would you like to hear more? This is Phil Philbin, the radio talk show host on Business Credit Radio. This full version is available at www.blogtalkradio.com, or you can go to our website at ccma-llc.com. I'm Phil Philbin for Business Credit Radio, and we'll leave the phone lines open for you.